Well, we know that Arizona is booming in the real estate market, but so is Florida. And to find out more, let's head down there to Matthew Mashler. So sorry, Matthew Mashler, right?
Yes, it
There's.
happens.
How you doing?
I'm doing real good, real good. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know what I like to do? We like to meet our realtors because that way it gets us really connected to the community and everything. So I want to start off by going, you are a wrestling fan.
Oh, okay. We can start there. Yeah. We went to every WrestleMania from 2012 until the pandemic canceled it, and actually Florida declared wrestling an essential service during the shutdown because two of the really biggest companies are based in Florida. So our governor declared wrestling an essential service.
So I like this. Now I feel now comfortable knowing that, we have something to talk about when we are not just talking real estate. And that's what's so great about meeting the realtors, that you get to know them stuff. And now we can talk to you again about Florida, and that we're seeing a lot more people are moving there. You guys are booming just like us. Why is that?
Booming. I mean, there's Florida's always had that boom and bust cycle. There's always been developments. It's always been attractive for people, for retirees on fixed incomes, because we cap their property taxes. When you buy a house in Florida, your property taxes they can have a minimal raises, but they're basically tapped. So people on fixed incomes have always appreciated that. But besides that, if you're not on fixed income, if you're making good money, we have no state sales tax. So traditionally, a lot of people, when they sell their companies or whatnot, they might move to Florida for an earlier retirement than they originally planned. And we got great weather, we have great amenities, we have hundreds of miles of beaches, we have Disney World, we have 4 major cities with at least 2, but usually 3 of every sports team: baseball, football, hockey, basketball. So it's got everything you could possibly want. We have urban, we have country areas to live. So if you wanted to live on a big farm or a ranch, we have that. And if you wanted to live in a high rise in a metropolis, we have that. So we have something for everybody at good prices, better than some of the northern cities, with good property taxes, and what people have discovered in the last year or two, a very free and open economy. A little bit, maybe it seems a little bit defiant, but it's very, very pro business and pro growth and pro freedom. People from both parties, all politics are coming down here. Everybody thinks that that their side's the one coming down. No, everybody's coming down.
Yeah.
And it's a microcosm of the U.S., but it's got a lot of unique features of its own. So depending on what you want out of your lifestyle, it's something for everyone.
Yeah, and Matthew, what's very interesting is that we're seeing people who live here in Arizona are actually getting either a winter or summer house or a retirement home or an extra house there in Florida. I mean, because as you just said, like, it's not just about the beach there. There's so much in Florida going on.
This is the first time we're really seeing people from the West Coast coming to Florida. We're seeing people from California and Arizona coming to Florida. We hadn't seen that in a long time. I grew up in New York, and even as a kid, when people would retire or move, they more to Florida than to Arizona, because you keep the same time zone. It's an easy flight north-south. So I always thought Arizona was like the Florida of the West, right? From people from California or some of the northern states in the West going down to Arizona for the weather and freedom and a little bit less cost of living. So I always thought they were quite similar, except for the beach aspect of it. We definitely got to beat there. But this is the first time I'm seeing that people coming from the West, and I think it's the I think, like I said, when they declared wrestling an essential service, we really try to do everything we could to keep businesses open, because it's easy to say stay home and don't go outside, but if you got to pay your rent, if you got to make your mortgage, if you got bills to pay, you got to work. So Florida, a lot of people work and a lot of people make money. I mean, I remember being out there in my mask or whole head to toe uniform, trying to space out, sell a house and show a house and stay away from everybody. We've been doing distance showings and FaceTime showings, and it's been working.
Yeah, that's great. That's going to. Okay, let me ask you, and as I know we got to wrap up in a minute, but let's talk about the forecast for 2022 in the real estate market in Florida. There, how are you guys looking?
It's a big state, so it really depends. I'm in Boca Raton. there's not a lot of inventory, but the builders are getting ready. They're going to bring a couple of hundred or a few thousand homes online in the next year, 2-3 years. So there'll be some more inventory. In some other parts of the state, it's easier to find houses. There's new construction and apartments in Miami going up and coming online. So there is inventory. Just depends on really where you want to be. Some of the less densely populated areas and beach towns are getting a little bit more developed. So there'll be something for everyone. It just depends on what you like. A lot of people want to go where they already know people, where they have friends or relatives. But if you don't have that and you're open to the whole state, there's a lot we could offer.
Nice. So I like that. Hey, Matthew, I'm so glad you joined us to give us an insight on Florida as people are starting to look at investment, moving, and different things, which is great. I know they can find you on your podcast, and where else can they find you?
So my website is realestatefinder.com. I'm a real estate broker, so I have agents in South Florida on the East Coast, on the West Coast, in Naples, Fort Myers area, and the Orlando area. So wherever you want to be in Florida, you can come to realestatefinder.com, contact me. I'll put you in touch with one of my agents. We did start the Real Estate Finder podcast, so if you listen to podcasts, you can put my last name, Mashler, or Real Estate Finder, and try to find my podcast there. It's actually been top 10% of downloads. So I'm real proud of the Real Estate Finder podcast. And then Matthew Mashler on Twitter and Instagram.
So Matthew, I'm so glad you joined us. Very quickly, who's your favorite wrestler?
The Miz. He was a reality television star, but he was a champion when I started watching with the kids, and he's awesome. Well, he says he's awesome, right? His shirt says he's awesome. And I had no idea who anyone he was, and the kids were like, "Who's that?" And that's The Miz. Is he good? And I'm like, "He's awesome." It's the only thing I knew, because he was facing John Cena. You've heard of him, and he actually beat John Cena at that WrestleMania with The Rock's help. So The Rock interfered, and I've been a Miz fan ever since.
Matthew, we got to have him back just to talk wrestling. I'm so glad you joined.
Oh, anytime.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too.